So good afternoon, Dr. Lujiton.
Good afternoon, ma.
Great. I'm happy you were able to make some time for us to discuss your personal development plan.
Thank you, ma.
Good. I noticed that you had several points, but I want us to just focus on one of this at this session.
Yes, ma.
But I want us to go a little bit more into the details of how you're going to achieve it. You were saying you wanted to allocate 4 to 5 hours a day for study time. To me, it looks a little bit excessive. Do you think you'll be able to actually put 4 to 5 hours every day for study?
Yes, actually, I think that's achievable. The 4 to 5 hours could actually be split into two sessions in a day.
Okay.
Maybe early in the morning and probably late in the night. So that's my plan to divide it into two sessions. Then also, in addition, during working hours, if the working if the workload is quite less busy, I can also manage to do some little reading in between those periods. So that will maximize the time available for my personal study.
Okay, so that sounds like a plan. Now remember, when you're studying, that you also need to sleep. Memory, long-term memory, is consolidated during sleep. So with your plan of waking up early and studying at night, I hope you factored how many hours of sleep you'll be able to have.
Yes, I factor that into the plan. So I think personally, from my studentship period, I can cope with maybe maximum of 4 hours of sleep per day, and it's just for this duration I'm using to prepare for my exams. Hopefully, after the exams, I'll be able to relax better and maximize my sleeping period.
Okay, so what time of the day do you find reading to be more beneficial, or when are you more likely to remember what you've read?
I noticed that I assimilate better in the early hours of the morning, usually between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
So whatever I study within that period, it tends to stay in my long-term memory better.
Okay, so that sounds like a good plan. So if you were, because truly you still need, even when you were younger, like you said, you could go do away with 4 to 5 hours, but you're not the same age anymore. I mean, that's the big difference between postgraduate learning and when you were an undergraduate. But if you were to wake up at 4:30 in the morning, for example, and you have to be at work at 8, you can easily put in 2.5 hours early in the morning. So I agree with you, and that would be a good quality study. And then in the evening, you could do an hour before going to bed so that you can still go to bed in good time. And, since the department is encouraging all of you who are due for membership exam to do some study time, I'm sure by the time you finish with your patient load, you could have 1 hour or so in the department before you have to go and do your home responsibilities. So you might be able to get the 4 hours. I think is very doable. 5 hours might be a bit difficult. But just remember that the quality of the hours is what matters the most. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So in summary, we've agreed that waking up early in the morning is the way to go because that's a strong study time for you.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you try and put in 2.5 hours. And then you can catch 1 hour at work if it's possible. And then maybe 30 minutes to an hour before going to bed. Just that you might be tired then, but at least that's the plan. Yeah, great. Now let's go to what is your achievement, evidence of achievement. Here you said overall improvement in knowledge level. Now that can be a bit difficult to measure. Okay, let's say better performance in the mock exams. That is definitely concrete. You can see what score you're going to get in the mock exam. The only thing I'm worried about is that the mock exam tends to be like 3 weeks before the main exams. And if there is a deficiency at that time, it might, put you under a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. So I would like us to think about a way of having an objective way that you've learned before the mock exam, so as not to put you under too much pressure. And then the last one, you said hopefully success. Of course, yes, we look forward to that. So can we look at other means for you to be able to know that you're actually, learning more, or you've learned more?
Yes, ma'am. Other ways include, for instance, we have some drills on the on the floor, the department.
Yeah.
So the way I'm able to answer the questions will also help me to know how far my knowledge level has improved in terms of preparing for the exam. That's one other way I can use to assess my improvement. Prior to the mock that may also show up. I think that's an objective way for me personally.
Yeah. So that's good. I think it's a good idea. Other ways would be to use other formative assessments, so that if you have a mini clinical CX, for example, or a DOPS, you have a senior registrar or a consultant assess you, then you can have a definite feedback that you've increased your knowledge on those particular that particular condition. Even you can have a group discussion and see how often you're able to participate to the group discussion. So that will give you an objective way to say my knowledge base is increased. Yeah. Okay. And your time scale is 3 months, so that looks doable. This will still give you a little time since you're starting 10th of June. So that would lapse July, August, September. So that will still give you 1 more month before the main exams to be able to see what you can do to mop up.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So that looks like a good plan. So let's just adjust this submission a little bit in being specific on the timings for when you're going to study, and also your evidence of achievement, so that when you're looking at your paper, you can actually, because you might not remember everything we discussed today, but you can have this clear signposts to be able to be sure that you've achieved what you need to achieve. Does that sound good to you?
Yes, it sounds very good, ma'am.
All right, great. Thank you.